How to improve your study skills. We've already had a lecture on how to study. So right now, our goal is to improve our study skills. And this is important because all of us have different circumstances. It takes a lot of effort to have time to study today because some of us, we work a long way from home. Some of us work long hours. Others may have jobs that are actually physically challenging. So the last thing we feel like doing when we get home from work is studying. So the fact is, we have to find the time to really study. So what you see on the screen are images of 4 different people. 2 have good study habits and 2 do not. So look at the 2 who do not have study habits. Do you see them? We see a young lady here. She has all the material, but it's almost as if she has no aim. Perhaps she didn't even know which book to start with first. She's already overwhelmed, and the study is literally not going anywhere. And then we have a young man who's too tired to study here on the bottom. But then we have 2 people who are prepared for their study session. They have notepads, they have pens, they have a good environment. They also have all their reference materials. So it seems to me that they planned this study time. They are prepared for their study session. As you look at these images, which student resembles you? Whose habits do you have? So in order to make time to study, perhaps you need to review your schedule. But a few suggestions are perhaps you could rise early each day. Some people study really well in the morning. Some people may need a few moments at the end of the day, perhaps when all the children are in bed. That may be the best time for them. Perhaps during your lunch break, or maybe while you're waiting for an appointment. But you can make your own schedule and decide on a time that works best for you to study. But whenever you choose to study, always have a goal. Your goal should be that you understand what you're reading and that you can explain that information to someone else if you were asked to. And you also want to be able to apply all the things that you're learning in your work environment. You want to be able to apply this information. So if you're learning medical terminology, you should understand the terms in such a way that you're able to use them in your daily conversation. At some point, you should understand what the physician is saying to you when they speak using medical terms. Also, remember to meditate. We discussed that before. Meditation is thinking about and explaining to yourself the things that you have learned. And take note of this quote: a goal without a plan is just a wish. So are you saying that I wish I did study? Or are you saying I plan to study, and then do you follow through on that plan? And let's just go ahead and acknowledge that studying is not easy. It is hard work. And in this particular industry, as far as the medical coding, there's always going to be information to read and or study. So for this class, I don't recommend that you skim material. I recommend that you really read it. Do the preview as we discussed. Learn to look at the title, the subheadings, the pictures and charts, all before you start reading. Read slowly. That helps me tremendously. Read carefully. Sometimes I will even read a sentence backwards because it doesn't make sense to me. So when I read it backwards, it helps. Make a note of things that aren't familiar to you. Sometimes when we're studying, we may venture off trying to understand just one word or one sentence or one paragraph. And before you know it, we spent hours researching something that's not really important. So what you could do is make a note that you have an interest in understanding that particular point more, and then you can have a day where you just do research. Preparation before class is going to make you a success because we only have a limited amount of time to get through a lot of material. So if you come to class well-read and you've already looked at examples or you've already looked up terms, that will help you get through the class easier, and also it'll help you to ask relevant questions. Learn to enjoy studying. Some of us do not like to study. We do not like to read. But we need to learn to enjoy that, and that comes with time, because the better you read, the better you study, the better coder you'll be in this industry, and you do want to be a good resource for whichever office or hospital you end up working in. You also need to keep in mind that if you decide to work for yourself in this part of the medical industry, or even if you want to work from home, the way you study will affect you, because there are times that there is no one for you to consult. So learn how to study. Have a healthy dose of curiosity, and bring the things that you read to life. If you don't know what something is, Google an image of it, or look at a video of it on YouTube. And all of that will help you make your studying easier. It'll still be work, but it'll be easier. So did you notice the quote? You get what you work for, not what you wish for. So if you're wishing that you do well in this class, it's not enough. You need to work to do well in this class.